This episode of the Two Droids podcast is proudly brought to you by Who Clothing.
Two droids and no questions asked.
Hello and welcome to the Two Droids No Questions Asked podcast, your one-stop shop for all the latest pop culture, movie, TV and comic book news. I'm today, of course, joined by my ever faithful co-host, Simo. How are you doing today, Simo?
Pretty good. How about you?
I can't complain, mate. It's pretty good. It's getting close to Christmas,
Very
you know,
close to
getting that festive feeling.
Mm-hmm. You know,
especially after listening to last week's episode. I don't know about you, but I finished it feeling full of Christmas
I've
joy.
actually watched two of the movies we spoke about last week.
Wow. One of them was the top one,
one of them was
right?
the top one, and one of them was one of the other top ones. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, I received some feedback on Jingle All The Way being the number one. So one of my friends listened to it, and were like, never even heard of it.
How? Like, it's a staple classic in our house that we watch it. I mean, the only reason I watched it was because my dad was doing his yearly watch of it, and I happened to wander in. I was meant to be doing stuff, but it
what's more important than that?
You've got to get to the bit where, at least when he goes, "Put the cookie down!" You know, you've got to get to that bit.
That's iconic.
I mean, that wasn't me saying it. That was actually Arnold taking over.
Yeah, that was a clip.
Yeah, that was it.
You know, some people just need to culture themselves, you know. We'll move on from the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've actually got a little bit of a hot take
impressions.
Regarding that movie later, but it's not in the hot take bit. It's just in the it's we're doing a little bit of a crossover event on that bit, but we'll discuss later.
We'll get there. Well, speaking of crossover events, we've got a special double bill episode this week, Simone. I hope you're excited. We watched Wonka a couple of days ago, so we're going to be diving into that, reviewing and discussing, as well as today, breaking news, Golden Globe nominations are out.
Before we go any further on this, I was just watching the news, the ITV news, in fact, and they had their entertainment guy come on. You know, he's meant to be a news anchor. And he goes, one of the big movies this year was Christopher Nolan's Napoleon movie. And I was like, what?
Oh,
you get paid for this and you're getting it wrong.
you don't get that sort of inaccuracy
no.
Here. Not on this
news outlet, you know.
No, we're by the book over here. Yeah. We don't make silly mistakes like that. You could take our word as gospel on anything.
I'd say take it as it's the truth.
It's all at face value. But yeah, so we're going to go through all the Golden Globe nominations just for major categories, and then we're going to predict and also give who we think deserves to win.
I like that, predict,
of
as
course.
well as give our own take. I like that. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, but we like to give as many viewpoints as possible. Of course, there's time codes down in the description below. If you'd like to skip to any particular bit, we will be doing non-spoilers and spoilers for Wonka. So if you wanted to go into that blind, but you want to know a little review, make sure you read the time codes, skip past, but then, come back for the Golden Globes and for the rest of the show. Before that, however, as always, we're going to dive into the latest news and trailers of the week, starting with the Nerdy News Bulletin, hot off the press, from the Weekly Bugle.
I don't know why I did that.
Ooh!
I did a little bugle noise.
Sorry, Simo, I just touched this hot stack of paper on my desk. It's really hot off the press today.
There's quite a few good pieces of news in this.
There is. Also, some sad news, but we'll cover that off first. So we'll dive straight into it. Sad news off the bat, which is that this week, unfortunately, Benjamin Zephaniah, who I think will be most famous, or most well known for our audience as playing Jeremiah in Peaky Blinders, but he unfortunately passed away this week at the age of 65. Apparently, he was diagnosed with a brain tumour about as little as 8 weeks ago. Wow. So a real sort of short-term illness, and he has unfortunately passed away. I mean, this is a huge loss, like culturally. I think he's one of the best modern British poets and writers, I think, of the last 20, 30 years.
Have you seen when he's talking about, like, with Bob Marley and stuff like that, when he's on the Russell Howard show, and he's talking about how he wrote him a letter at the age of 15, he, like, gave it. Bob Marley wrote back to him, was like, "Oh yeah, Britain needs you," and then he was using it for clout, and ended up leaving it at a girl's house.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not familiar with him, I'd definitely like research him a little bit. I mean, some of his poetry, especially on like really important issues, like a lot of immigration commentary, like sort of runs through his work. But even just like in interviews, I know he used to do a lot on like Question Time, and he was so well spoken, and his opinions were fantastic. They were so spot on, and it's a huge loss, I think, culturally, and obviously a horrible way to go as well. So rest in peace, R.I.P. Benjamin Zephaniah. Yeah, will definitely not be forgotten. We'll live on through his work, cold, I'm sure.
Wait, I know. In the bleak midwinter? I got the phrase wrong. There we go. Never mind. Little Peaky Blinders thing for you.
Yeah. You know, God doesn't look on small heath. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move away from that news. Also this week, there's been a lot of leaks coming from the set of Deadpool 3.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard about a few of these.
Yeah, so we touched on it. Touched on it a couple of weeks ago. We covered some of the leaks, but Ryan Reynolds has taken to social media and just calmly asked people to chill out a little bit. Obviously done it in his very characteristic, jokey and sarcastic way. But on Instagram, he put on his story, I've got a quote here: "Surprises are part of the magic of theatrical movies. It's important for us to shoot the new Deadpool film in real, natural environments using practical effects, as opposed to making the movie indoors and digitally. Telephoto lenses continue to spoil surprises and create a difficult situation for everyone." He also then went on Twitter and poked a little bit of fun at the situation. He was like, "Hey, here's some new Deadpool leaks." And it was edited versions of photos that had already leaked with like other people introduced. So there was one which was him, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and then the Predator photoshopped into it. And then my personal favourite was, again, those two. Then Mickey Mouse with a big bag of money.
Ooh, that sounds quite close to that. That sounds quite close to the boat. But I feel like there might be a joke about that anyway in the movie.
Yeah, I think there's bound to be.
Like, football breaks, so like, why wouldn't he know about Mickey Mouse? You know, why not?
And like you see on the set from the leaks, there's like a collapsed 20th Century Fox sign. Yeah. So like, there's definitely going to be a bit of tongue in cheek. Like, oh, we're here for the money now.
With this sort of thing, like, if people can see it, they're going to take photos and they are going to share it.
Yeah.
So I think part of it's on the fact that journalism is journalism. People want to get the story so they can get it out there, get money and make money from it. So that's always going to happen. So maybe if you are going to film it in a real location, try and hide it a bit better.
Well, I think they are, and cause I think that's why he's called out these telephoto lenses, because they're the great massive
like
ones.
The ones you see on nature,
where you can,
like you have to be far away.
Yeah, you can be like a mile away from the set
and
still get like a really close in focus photo. Yeah. So I think they are trying to hide it, but I am glad that it is being shot practically.
Yeah,
and it isn't just on the volume and green screen.
On that though, have you not seen like the areas that they keep filming it in? It just seems like an old Doctor Who series or like Power Rangers, because it's all the same little dingy,
it's just a nondescript, dusty background. But I mean, he also went on to say, you know, like, I understand the leaks. I mean, the whole reason we even had a Deadpool movie in the first place was because the test footage was leaked in inverted commas.
Ryan Reynolds was one of them, wasn't he? Like, I swear he was.
Yeah, he definitely put that out himself to get that movie made. And yeah, I mean, I want to touch on it a bit later. I've got maybe a little hot take surrounding this issue.
Stay tuned then. I'll stick around.
But, you know, I can understand why. Look, you have to. I'm afraid you can't go anywhere.
He's got me locked. I'm actually locked in a cupboard. He keeps me here. He lets me out once a week to do this. Help.
Yeah, well, if you behave yourself, I'll take you out on a walk around the park, but you keep tugging on the lead, so no walk for you this week. Straight to the choke.
What we do in our bedroom, you know, you need to keep that off the podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm worried that you said our bedroom there. It's slightly concerning. You know something I don't.
Everyone knows that podcasters have to live together. This is the rule.
You have to, you know. If you want to have that rapport, you've got to, you know. And, you know, everyone likes to cuddle at night time. Anyway, we'll keep on the Marvel news, but we'll move on from Deadpool.
The lore of this podcast is just getting weird.
Yeah, it's growing every time. Now, Marvel, in the news quite a few times this week. Now, this is good news, but also stems from some bad news. This news being that Marvel has finally settled some of their character rights issues. So, if you don't know, there's been a long-going legal battle with Marvel and the estate of legendary comic creator Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko famously co-created hundreds of iconic characters, but the two probably ones. Big prominent ones, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So these legal disputes go back to 2021 when Marvel took legal action against copyright termination notices, but these issues have finally been resolved. So Marvel and Steve Ditko's estate have come to an agreement. They've settled all the disagreements. The rights will remain with Marvel, and I imagine it'll be a very healthy payout for the Ditko estate.
Hopefully they'll get a nice payout on that.
Yeah, which, I mean, when you think of the money that these characters generate, is insane.
Yeah.
You know, it's only right that they should be compensated for that.
Exactly.
You know, and I know there was some stuff last year with Marvel just straight up not paying creators fairly.
I mean, obviously, like, we've having like the SAG-AFTRA stuff, but like comic book creators just haven't been getting like what they. I mean, comic books don't make individually. They don't make a massive amount at each one, but like they should still get paid what they're worth for it.
Yeah, and I think if that's like, I know there was a story about the guy that created the Winter Soldier. So not Bucky Barnes, but the guy that took Bucky Barnes and turned him into the Winter Soldier. And then I think he was paid like peanuts for that.
As in for the actual comic book, or when it went onto screen, like when they.
So just for the comic book, and this is what the argument was about: was that, well, I created that character, sure, in a different medium, but you've translated that medium into film.
You should get more
using my work
for it,
and then absolutely. And you know, there just seems to be a lot of this, especially around Disney, of just not paying creatives properly.
I think Harry Potter's probably a brilliant example for where someone's made money from their character. Like J.K. Rowling has made absolute bank from her characters, whereas you then compare that to comic books, Marvel, which makes more than Harry Potter does, and get paid fuck all. Yeah, right.
I mean, I know J.K. Rowling sort of locked them into an airtight contract where it's like, I will be made a billionaire from these movies, please and thank you. But you know, they deserve to be treated fairly, and like I said, when you think of like the legacy of Spider-Man as a character, and when you add up the income that Spider-Man has generated, even over the last 20 years,
it's incredible.
You know, that's we're talking billions and billions of pounds.
I've literally bought a PlayStation 5 just because of Spider-Man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I know that's like slightly irrelevant, but like, I'm just the impact that character has resulted in like, such a powerful character.
It's fair that they should be compensated for that, I think. Anyway, we'll move on. We're still on the Marvel vibe though. Big week for Marvel this week. Mark Ruffalo in particular has made headlines this week. He's revealed, in typical Mark Ruffalo fashion, has revealed something he probably wasn't supposed to, which is pertaining to a potential Hulk solo movie.
Okay.
So it was on the red carpet for his latest movie, Poor Things. And obviously, I imagine if you're part of any Marvel project, it's just all the questions you're ever going to get are about Marvel projects. So he was asked, Hulk solo movie, what's happening? So quite a layered story. I mean, the character rights again for Hulk have been a big point of complexity for Marvel. The standalone rights are still at Universal.
I thought it was already an open and closed case. He won't get a standalone, but they might try and do something where he's a major character, but it's not technically his.
Yeah. So this is the main reason that that Hulk was in Thor Ragnarok, because they wanted to do a Hulk story, but they can't unless Universal agree to it. And then we know from the whole Spider-Man Sony situation that that's just a whole can of worms, and they're going to want money, and they're going to want paying, and they're going to want creative control and all these things. So the character rights are a bit up in the air. However, Disney have recently come to an agreement with NBC Universal for Hulu. So I think Hulu is like what we have as Star in the UK. On Disney Plus, yeah. So I think Disney have just purchased Hulu. So that sparked discussions about, well, maybe Hulk could get a standalone movie.
Oh, so would it have to be like a straight... Mark Ruffalo, would it end up being like a straight to streaming one, though, because of that? If it's like Hulu rights, would it have to be a straight to streaming movie?
I think they'd have to put it in the cinema,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
I can't see them doing that.
What's the point of doing it if you're not going to put it in the cinema? You might as well just do a TV show.
Yeah, and I think, especially of the last few MCU releases that haven't made a huge amount of money, I think they'd want to maximise
It'd be
profit.
So sad, though, having if a Hulk movie bombed. I think it'd be quite sad. I can't remember what the other ones, the last two movies did, because we were kids at the time. But I remember enjoying them.
I think they both did pretty well.
Well, I'm assuming the second one must have done pretty well, because it was like the start of the MCU, and obviously they carried on building it after that. So it must have done pretty well.
Yeah, which I think it did. But obviously Mark Ruffalo's been on the red carpet, and with all this stuff about Hulu being in the headlines, he's inevitably been asked questions about Hulk. So he said that he's expressed hope, and said, it's something he'd love to do. Said that he's sort of constantly workshopping ideas in his head for what that story could look like. Also thinking of the big money bags that have come with it, of course, naturally. Why wouldn't you? But said that he couldn't provide any details due to confidentiality. Now, I'm not sure about how confidentiality works in terms of contract agreements, but I'm pretty sure you can't say, I'm not allowed to say because I'm not allowed to say. I think you just have to feign dumb and be like, oh, I don't know. But it sounds like they've got him sort of bound to rights in a contract.
I wonder if that's just because of his escapades in the past, where he's either directly or indirectly leaked something, whereas obviously he's leaked stuff before by accident himself, and then he's also sent things to other co-stars and got them to leak it for him with Tom Holland. Was it like the first 10 minutes of Infinity War? He talked about it, didn't he?
By leaving his Instagram live on. He went live on Instagram.
Did he talk about it as well?
I
swear he spoke about it for a bit as well, and he's talking about what happens. He's he's not meant to have actually said it.
Oh, I think he did. Yeah, it was probably on Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or something. But I know it was definitely during one of the premieres, and he was on Instagram live on the red carpet, and then went in and just forgot to turn it off. So he leaked the first 10 minutes. So when asked the question, he said that Marvel has asked him not to comment on specific details, but he did express loads of optimism and said that it'd be really cool to be a part of. Which, the fact they've asked him not to say anything makes me think, A, they're working on something, or B, like you say, they just tell him that all the time. Just to stop him inadvertently saying anything.
If you think back to the end of She-Hulk, they showed his son from Sakaar, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're not trying to do something with that. So it might not be a Hulk movie per se. They might be able to name it after his son and then kind of word it bring it through that way. But I'd really like a
do like a Hulk family.
Yeah, I'd really like a talk about Hulk family. I'd like a I suppose they won't do it because they've done Logan. But I'd like an actual old man Logan where it has the Hulk family as rednecks, redneck Hulk family. Really cool. All that.
Yeah, but my thing is, I have zero interest in seeing a smart Hulk movie.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
I don't want to see that.
We want to see Monster. We want to see Monster Hulk, and we want to see him smashing things.
Give me a world breaker where. As in, he's that much of a threat, the only thing they can do is send him into space.
Do you know what?
And get rid of him.
I just want an old style. I just want a Hulk movie where something happens, the Hulk goes mental, and it's just him destroying everything, and it's Thaddeus Ross tries to stop him. Yeah. Although they'd end up doing the Red Hulk, and it'd just be the first Hulk movie again, wouldn't it? Where it's just Hulk versus Hulk.
With or without mustache?
With mustache.
That's the real question.
With mustache. He's got to have that mustache on, bro.
I mean, it has to be, right?
Mustache. If he doesn't, then I mean, have we seen Harrison Ford with a mustache, actually? I don't think we have we?
Yeah, Harrison Ford has been pictured on set without a mustache.
CGI. They did it with... they did it with Superman, and that worked great, didn't it? Or they took one away. Well, so surely you can add one. Or, to be fair, though...
It's got to be easier to put one on.
You could just put an actual fake mustache on. Like, yeah, human skin's harder to do. So, if I'm being honest, I don't care. But I just like to see it with a mustache.
Even then... I don't care if Harrison Ford has a mustache when he's in human form.
I want to see it.
But I want the Red Hulk to have the mustache.
Yeah, I agree.
Let him grow a mustache while he's the Hulk, and then it disappears when he's human.
I also want him to do his stunts himself as Harrison Ford. I want to see Harrison Ford doing all the stunts.
Trying to kill him.
I want to see.
It's like 85 years old.
He can crash a plane. He can play Hulk. Like, come on.
Yeah, but he's always stoned out of his mind whenever he clashes his
But there we go.
plane.
Oh, no. He doesn't. He doesn't do with drugs. He definitely wasn't a drug dealer on the set of Star Wars or anything. Allegedly.
No way.
I love that. Have you read into that story when they're just like, "Oh, who's that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my dealer." And he's like, "No, that's Harrison Ford." It's like,
yeah, same guy.
I can't believe he was a dealer alleged dealer on set.
I don't know. I don't have too hard of a time.
Harrison Ford and Mr. Green, hey.
Well, it all ties up. This great web of life, huh? Now, moving on to the last story, Simo. This story.
Get the fuck out of here! I've seen the name of this now.
Actually,
I thought you said this was good news.
It broke my heart reading this story. Nick Cage has made headlines. This is from The Hollywood Reporter. Nick Cage has hinted at retirement.
No. Right, we're done. This is it. This is the end of the podcast, but I'm not doing any more. If he retires, I retire, all right? You tell him now. Wow. You tell him now.
I'll call him up in the morning and ask him. But yeah, Nick Cage has hinted that he is nearing the end of his Hollywood career, saying that he has 3 or maybe 4 movies left. He expressed his belief that he sort of conveyed what he wanted to through cinema and aims to conclude his career on a high note. Load of bollocks.
I thought you just did everything. Like, it was...
Yeah, literally. It's like you had a £14 million tax bill that you didn't pay. That's why you had to do like straight to VHS. It's like,
I've done what I
if
wanted.
he was like really like cautious about his roles and he only does like sort of high art things, like a bit like Joaquin Phoenix sort of vibe, I get it. But Face Off isn't high art. You know?
Wait, look at the other shit he's done. Fucking Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Like, there's one where he's like, he cuts down dead trees and shit. What the fuck was that? Fucking Five Nights at Freddy knockoff. Willy's Wonderland. Like,
Willy's Wonderland.
Like, amongst many, although, to be fair, he has done some absolutely incredible ones, which I'm hoping... I'm hoping one of them has it been nominated? I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
You'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, so this whole thing comes... he was talking about his father's life expectancy. Unfortunately, his dad passed away at 75. So I think now Nick Cage thinks that that's hereditary.
You just think he's just going to die at 75?
Yeah, well, he said, I have 15 years left.
Okay.
It's like, well, I'm not sure that's how it works. I don't think you inherit
I don't think you just die at the same age as your parents. Like, and also, you're Nicolas Cage. You're Nick Cage.
Yeah, you'd be fine. But he said that, obviously, with his dad passing away at 75, if he has 15 years left, he wants to spend more time with his family. Really prioritise that family time. And now, apparently, is in the process of solidifying his retirement plan. He did also say, in the same breath, it was like, I'd be open to doing things that I haven't done before, such as TV.
Okay.
So he's never done TV, which, that's not retirement then, is it?
And not only that, for longer if he's doing TV, because like they're usually longer stints of filming.
And not only that, you're telling me that a company comes to him and offers him $2 million to shoot an advert for half a day, that he's not going to do it.
All I'm saying is, have you watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? This is the plot to The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. He's like, I'm going to retire, and then the guy, I'll give you $2 million to do this or whatever, or like, I'm going to do one more film, and then it's just that's literally the plot of that movie. He's like, I want to spend more time with my family, but then he just does more and more films. So
I mean, I hope he doesn't retire. And to be honest, I can't see it happening. I think
time with your family. Like we've got.
Yeah.
If I've been honest, Nick, we've got plenty of movies from you. You know, I've seen all your movies. We've got a back catalogue.
maybe too many. Actually,
I don't think you can have too many. If I'm being honest.
Well,
has he ever
not
done a
Nick
karate
Cage
movie?
movies.
I want
Probably.
to see. I
can't say for certain.
A
but
Nick Cage movie where he's like Karate Kid, but with Nick Cage. I want to see.
Well, just put him in the Karate Kid movie
or TV show.
Make him the villain. Yeah, make him Billy Zabka's trainer.
Or just have him as who Billy Zabka trains to beat up the kids. Karate Kid.
Yeah, but you have to pretend that Nick Cage is like a 13-year-old boy. He can do it. He's got range.
He's got range. I reckon he can do that. You know, a bit of prosthetics.
Yeah.
Fine.
Not even that. He doesn't need prosthetics. You'll be fine.
I'd put some on because I think I'd be a bit weird.
No.
But yeah, that's sad.
No.
But you know, if he wants to spend time with his family.
Yeah, I can understand it.
Kill myself.
It was also saying that he's never like happier than when he's working, and Nick Cage strikes me as one of those guys that would retire for 2 weeks
and he'd be back out,
and then get that bored that he'd need to do something. But he said that he's still acknowledging like upcoming projects. It remains open to like other acting opportunities, and he's not trying to stop just yet. But 3 to 4 big budget movies left.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him go on just like an incredible streak of just like incredible box office success from now.
Yeah, I'd like that. Can we all band together and just get him to just have the top grossing movies of all time, please?
Yeah. I mean, my dream casting for Nick Cage, Barbie in Barbie 2.
You want it to be Barbie? Not Ken?
Yeah.
Barbie?
No. I want Nick Cage to play Barbie.
Okay, but what about if we had him as like Alan, where it's just Nick Cage plays Nick Cage in Barbie?
No, Nick Cage is Barbie. It's the only possible thing it could be. And let him go full method on it as well.
Is he going to be in costume? Let him
do the full like overacting.
So is he going to be dressed as himself, or is he going to be dressed as Barbie?
So it's like a Barbie take on like his normal clothes. So he'd wear like a Barbie dress, but it's just like a leather jacket.
Is he going to have like a blonde wig on?
No, just Nick Cage hair.
So that fake Nick Cage hair. I mean, is it fake? I swear he's had implants. He's got to have done. Look at it.
He must have, yeah.
I mean, look at him in...
When you look at him in Ghost Rider, his hairline's like 4 inches back. And that was like 2005.
Yeah, and then you look at him now and it's like, hey, hang on. Why does that look suspiciously normal? But yeah, that's sad.
It's just rosemary oil. Just rosemary oil and a derma roller.
I need to do that then, don't I? Right. Do you want to move on to trailers?
Yes, that's it from the news. So absolutely.
We've had a few trailers, but the majority of the trailers we've had, the main ones, have been games. We actually missed, just as we finished recording last week, the GTA 6 trailer released. And we are going to talk about it in a minute, but first I want to talk about something that's more our ballpark and some TV shows that have got some trailers. So, first one, we're just going to talk about quickly because we've already spoken about it before and its original trailer. We've got Masters of the Air as I got a new trailer. Obviously, it's still the same release date. It's coming out 26th of January.
What a day.
It's your birthday.
It is.
There you go. Bit more lore.
God, more lore. I'm becoming more and more identifiable.
He's going to be 46.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Right, he's the same age. I don't know how Nicolas Cage is. I don't know. 15 years left. Figure it out.
It's 60, I think.
There you go. You're that one.
Based on how old his father was when he died.
Right, so, yeah. We don't see... It doesn't really advance anything really in the new trailer. It just shows off a bit more of the aerial combat and what the overarching story is going to be.
Looks great,
doesn't it? For a TV show, that looks incredible. Not Disney, sorry,
looks
Apple
so good.
Are absolutely cooking with the money they're pumping into TV shows. Look at Monarch, and then look at this.
I've not seen a bad one.
I mean,
either,
obviously, I feel like
TV.
if it was done as a movie and it would have been it probably would be even cleaner than what it is. But I think that for a TV show, that looks really good. I'm interested to see how the story is going to show. If it's going to go into if they felt any remorse against doing the bombings and stuff like that. It looks like we're going to get a bit of one of the black flights. Is that what they're called? I think they're called flights, aren't they? Squadrons. There you go. One of the black squadrons that they had, which is really good because they got really shat on in the war, giving shit planes and stuff like that. But Shooty Gatwa's in it. He's absolutely everywhere at the moment. He's been Sex Education, Barbie, Doctor Who, Masters of the Air, and there's probably many, many more. That's one concern people had for him being Doctor Who, wasn't it? It's because how busy he was. But yeah, this is coming out 26th of January. The aerial combat in it looks incredible. We get to see Elvis Presley flying some planes. Who wouldn't want to see that, you know? No. But yeah, let's go on to the one that this is one I'm excited for. And that is the new Who Doctor Who Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road. Now, there's some little talking points I think we need to talk about here. One, it's going to a more of a fantasy style is what the showrunners spoke about. He says he wants to move. Now they've got a bit of a better budget. He wants to lean more into fantasy, which he thinks is going to piss quite a lot of old fans off. But I don't see how it would. When you say fantasy, it's sci-fi, so it's pretty much already in that realm anyway.
And I mean, you can do fantasy and time travel really well together. Probably, especially if I used to love when I was little all the episodes that were set in the past. Like, can you remember the Shakespeare one? The Shakespeare one's one of my favourites.
One of my favourite ones is the werewolf one when he goes back to Queen Victorian times, isn't it? And then I really like that one. They're
but I mean, they're both fantasy.
Yeah, werewolves.
Like werewolves and witches are fantasy. And I think that's some of the best examples of like historical Doctor Who.
Well, I mean, you're a time traveller, and just for some reason, loads of episodes just always get set in the year that we're in. It's just like, why?
It's like we're in modern day London.
Or 2005 London, 2006 London.
There must be like a theory that there's at any one point in London. There's like 3 Doctor Who's running around.
I do think it all
any
the time.
one time.
Like, they always say that it's time's linear, but then sometimes they do bump into each other. So like, there's got to be points where they just run around a corner and like, oh, they just like got to like stop a little bit.
What are you solving? Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm on the Daleks today.
Okay. So you're over there. Daleks are over there, are they? Yeah. Don't worry about me. I'm doing Cybermen over it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You do your thing. Now, you do your thing.
Speaking about that, this episode very much looks like it's set in modern day London.
Yes, yeah.
But we're getting...
Don't want to stray too far off.
We're getting goblins. And what in the labyrinth is this? I don't know if you've seen, little spoiler, there's a musical number in this episode where they're feeding babies to the goblins. So it looks like the goblins are eating little babies. And for some reason, a little bit of Jabba's Palace-esque, some woman starts pure singing about eating babies and how the Goblin King really wants it.
Nice.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people like say that. It feels very labyrinth in the way that it's obviously goblins and kids getting eaten, but all it needs now is David Bowie. I think it looks really good. Like the CG, it's all CGI. The CGI looks incredible on it. But there's a point we need to speak about, Ryan. And you do see it in the trailer, and it's been all over, and they've released a little bit on it, and that is his sonic screwdriver.
Hate it.
I absolutely hate it. Like,
I really don't like it.
I'm really hoping that they haven't filmed that much of the series yet, and that they're going to see the hate and they can change it. I feel like even if they don't change it,
it looks like the old Sky remote.
I've seen someone. It's like, you know those memes where it's like a bit of madness and a bit of badness, and it's like it's the old Alpol spoon.
I've seen that one. It just doesn't look. And I know like most sonic screwdrivers don't look like screwdrivers, but they're a rough cylindrical shape with a light on the end. You know, it's not a hard thing to
you can
mess
figure
up.
it out. If someone said to you sonic screwdriver and you looked at it, you go, "Oh, okay, I get it. It looks like
it's like a pen."
Yeah. But it's the way he's holding it as well. I've seen a lot of people on the internet saying, "Oh, stop complaining. You can't complain about everything." I'm like, well, no. If it's a TV show, you're allowed to go, "I don't like that design," because even with the previous with Peter Capaldi's Doctor, he had sonic glasses, but they didn't call his glasses.
Yeah, I hated
they didn't
that
go,
as well.
yeah, these are my sonic screwdriver, and then look at his the sonic glasses. And then he still got a sonic screwdriver, but there was reasoning behind why he had sonic glasses. It was because people who couldn't afford to have a sonic screwdriver could then wear glasses and pretend they've got one. That was the point behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, they've just gone, should we try and make something that's a bit different? And I'm like, I mean, fair enough for trying it. And
yeah, I respect the effort. It was just a big swing and a bigger miss.
There's a really nice bit on it where he's got a Rwandan proverb on it in Gallifreyan.
Yes, I do like that.
The sharpness of the tongue defeats the sharpness of the warrior. Lovely, lovely proverb. But when you're like you're the universe's like most bloodthirsty warrior, which he kind of is, like, and you've just like destroyed and killed millions and billions, technically, I guess. Like maybe don't have that on there because it's a bit tongue in cheek.
It does make me excited that we're going to get a sassy Doctor.
Yeah. I mean,
I love the sassy Doctor.
I think we're going to talk about the specials next week, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to give it a full episode and really dive into all three of them.
I'm really excited for his Doctor. His outfit looks really cool. He has got a classic look.
Yes.
But then he is going to be changing into different ones. But his classic look looks really cool.
They're doing like period appropriate
which costuming. I like that.
Well, on the outfit, the one thing I'm most excited for is I know we spoke about it the other day, is the Doctor Who dressing sequence.
Yes.
Where it goes down into the TARDIS wardrobe and you just see him throwing clothes everywhere, and you get a few like hints to old ones. Like with David Tennant, he got like Tom Baker's scarf out and was like, nah, and it's always my favourite bit. And like Matt Smith had it in like the hospital where he's picking out clothes and putting them on.
The doctors in his bow tie.
Yeah,
cool.
It's like my favourite part of any new Doctor Who is the wardrobe scene.
We'll get it. We've got to get it.
I just really hope we get one.
I think we will. I think we'll get one. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
It's Christmas, so I'm assuming that the goblins are probably going to be something to do with elves or something, and then it's going to turn out they're actually goblins or something. But we'll find out on Christmas Day.
We will. I'm glad it's back to Christmas Day as well. I love that. The last couple have been like New Year's Day.
I used to love getting to like 5:30 on Christmas Day and then be like, right, here we go, and then it was time.
It's Doctor Who time.
I'm excited to do that again. I've already warned the family that Doctor Who will be on at is it 6:30? I think it's 6:30.
Something like
whatever.
That,
it's on. Doesn't matter what time it is. It's going on.
And I, for one, can't wait.
Right, let's move into something that's slightly out of our ballpark, but still pop culture related, and there is some movie related and comic book related titles in this. But first, we're going to go GTA 6. Now,
yes,
this trailer has been. People have been waiting for this for over 10 years. Like it's the longest.
And they're going to still be waiting even longer for it to come out.
Yeah, we'll go straight on to that. So it's penned in to release 2025. Now there's some rumours on when it's going to release in 2025. Most people are expecting it to release Christmas of 2025 or close to, just because games like to release them because obviously you get the Christmas sales.
Get the Christmas
however,
market,
the overarching company that own Rockstar have put in for a major sale, as in like they're going to sell something in the first quarter of 2025, which is like in quite business world ends April. So people believe between January and April 2025 is when it will release. Now the chances are it's probably going to get delayed anyway. So most likely it'll be at the end of 2025, if not 2026. But if they say 2025, I'd say put your bets on that it's going to be the end of it, and then anything that comes closer is a win-win. But it looks incredible. If this is in-game, if this is what the in-game is going to look like, which if you remember watching the GTA 5 trailer, it was the in-game engine that they used for it. Obviously, it's not gameplay, but it was the in-game engine, so the graphics are the same. And it looks absolutely incredible. It looks so good. I've seen some people's comparisons to show how good it is compared to GTA 5. Is they've gone into the shop and they've shown what bottles look like in the old GTA and then what bottles look like in this one. And it looks, and there's bits where the social media clips. I showed them to my parents and was like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" And like, do you think this is real? And they're like, yeah, that's a real thing, isn't it? I was like, no, that's GTA 6. So like, it looks incredible. Bonnie and Clyde is what it looks like it's kind of following. So the couple so
committing
we've got Lucia
crimes.
and Jason are the main protagonists of this, and obviously everyone gone straight away. It seems like it's going to be Bonnie and Clyde, but in a modern setting, and I like that. I like the idea of that. I think it's been a long time coming. They're having a female protagonist on a GTA game.
I think the last one was 93. 1993. I think the last female protagonist.
That's a long time.
Well.
So yeah, I mean, if you look, obviously when you go on GTA Online, you can make the character whoever you want it to be. But on this, I think it's nice that people can, see a bit of themselves in their character that's going to kill loads of innocent people.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I saw on Twitter that apparently there's going to be children NPCs in the game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of memes about that. Some of them are very questionable.
A lot of Anakin Skywalker memes
and White Van Man memes. I've seen one that's like game is game. Which you seen your mate say game is game while getting in a white van, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. So I surely not. Surely they're not brave enough to do that.
They added kids into Red Dead 2, but you can't damage them. So I'm assuming it's going to be something similar. But that being said, surely you can still run them over and send them flying. Lego Star Wars, the new one, had kids in and you could beat them up but they didn't die. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be something similar. If you can kill kids, I mean...
I just think for me, just don't do it. If it's... Rather than having like alternate physics, just avoid it completely.
I completely agree.
Just don't bother.
If they are going to add it, fair enough, add whatever you want to the game, but you just have to prepare for the backlash on it. Because as much as most people won't care, and they will see it as it is just in the game, and there's no deeper meaning to it, there will be a lot of parents, mainly, I think it may mainly be parents that be complaining about it. Can you remember the No Russia? There's not even kids in that, but the No Russia sequence in Modern Warfare 2, like the backlash that had, and
it still gets it now.
You still got to remember that,
like whenever the clip resurfaces,
whatever age you put for the game, the chances are the most people that are going to be playing it are young teenagers. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I think it looks pretty good.
Have you seen the? Rockstar always like parody, like reality, don't they? In terms of things they included. And I don't know if you've seen the guy that refers to himself as the Florida Joker.
Yeah, he said he's not very happy about it, hasn't he, or something?
Well, he's basically like... no offence to the guy, but he looks like a crackhead. He's covered in like awful face tattoos. And like, I feel like some face tattoos look good. His look fucking dreadful, and he's covered. And you see a guy in the trailer that is also covered in like shit face tattoos. It's meant to
parody him, isn't it?
Yeah, wacky haircut. He's now demanding that Rockstar pay him $2 million for using his likeness.
Well, they haven't used his likeness because it's different tattoos. It's just a man with face tattoos. We've made... Yeah, it's implying it's him, but we've made the jump ourselves. Like...
Yeah, it's like, unless they've confirmed that this is you, then sure. But they haven't, and they won't. And you're not going to get a single penny out of Rockstar, I can promise you that.
It actually jumps onto the next point that I wanted to make, actually. So in the trailer, we see a lot of social media posts. So it's led a lot of people to kind of think that there's going to be an in-game social media sort of platform.
God.
And
that's going to be awful.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen all of the social media clips are based off of actual social media clips from Florida. So the tiger, the crocodile, or alligator, going into the shop. You've got the woman with the hammers that's like, what are you doing here? So it's like trying to... they're all Florida man situations or Florida people situations, as the meme goes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how that would work into it. But, I think it was pretty good. It's back to Vice City. Now, there has been a rumour going around this week that there might be plans for GTA to do similar to what Call of Duty have just done, and I guess same with Fortnite and stuff like that. I don't know if you know, but Call of Duty now, it's the Call of Duty hub. Battlefield did it ages ago, kind of, but like COD have done it where now when you download COD or you get a new one, it all goes onto the same game. It's the same game. It's just add-ons.
Right.
So there's rumours going around that GTA might follow suit and bring back some of the old maps and add it on bit by bit, just to keep people engaged and coming back to the game. But then some people are now worried that could mean, would this be the final main GTA that we get, and then afterwards we just get updates to the map?
I mean, I don't know if they need that.
Well, I don't think even if they did do that, this is just speculation. This is just rumour.
The longevity of GTA was never in the campaign.
No,
it's GTA Online
nowadays. Yeah,
like,
GTA Online. Yeah,
like GTA Online, GTA 5 Online is still massively popular now. I mean, and it's still played by millions of people now. And it'll be 12 years old by the time this new one comes out.
That's where they make their money. They make the majority of their money from the online set. Like, they'll make loads of money when this comes out from the pre-sales, but they're going to make so much more when it comes to the online stuff, because the in-game currency is just like mad. People buy, same as with most stuff, people want to get the cool cosmetics in the game, and it is kind of a pay-to-win game, GTA Online. So people will put money in that so they can grief people, I guess, with those, whatever that little flying car jet thing is that
hover bikes
pisses me off every time I go on.
Yeah.
But I think it looks good, and obviously I think every single person that's play our generation or a little bit below and a little bit above are going to be having a week off work. So, but yeah, right. Next game, bit of a Marvel. It is a Marvel property. Blade. just a bit of a Marvel property. So Blade is getting a single player game now. It's a. Have you seen the trailer? It's not. You don't see any gameplay.
Yeah, but
you see
it's just a teaser,
you see him getting a shave
for now.
Like that's literally it. But it's a Bethesda game. So some people are now worried that it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. I say to that, well, shut up. You had Spider-Man, and you got Wolverine. So if it is going to be an Xbox exclusive, I'm sorry, but
only that it'll probably be bad. But like the Avengers game.
I mean, I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's good, and they can easily make it a good game. But we haven't seen any gameplay yet. It's only in development. It's going to be set in Paris, but I have a place where it should be set, and I think it should be set in Whitby, because it's
I back
it should be set in Whitby.
I back that.
What vampires?
For the culture.
What vampires have you heard of in Paris? You don't. There's no vampires in Paris. This ain't. Whitby, Dracula, and it's full of them anyway. You walk down the streets of Whitby,
you go on Goth weekend.
It's just full of them. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. I want to be playing Blade, just swinging off that whale bone and just cutting up a load of vampires. That's what I want to be doing.
God, this is a reference. This is
for
reference.
UK audiences. And if you're not from the UK, Google Whitby. Great fish and chip shop.
Yeah.
Magpies. Go there.
Yeah, loads. You have to queue though at Magpies. There's always a big queue at Magpies.
I've been there twice in the past 2 years and I haven't queued. I sat down as well.
You sat down in Magpies,
mate. I sat down. It was raining.
Every time I've been to Magpies, they've been like queuing out the door.
Now we're talking about this, I want to say something actually though, because I think there's a better chippy. Go to Scarborough. It's called Tunny Club. It's just, I don't know, have we not eaten there?
I think we have.
I really like it.
Is it the one where the last time
we did. Yeah, it was really good.
Okay,
I really like that one.
Yeah, it was
I really like
that
one. I go there every time I go to Scarborough now. I always go to the Tunny Club. So if you're ever in Scarborough, go to the Tunny Club. Say that the two Droids No Question Asked podcast sent you. They won't have a clue who we are.
Yeah. No, but let them know. I mean, we spoke about Blade the other week when we were covering the news about the movie. It should not be hard to make a good story.
Not at all.
It's a vampire hunter. Yeah. You don't really need to touch the superhero element of it to make it good. Hunter. In fact, touching the superhero element probably is more likely to ruin it just flat out than just having it as a cool vampire hunter story. It shouldn't be hard.
We'll see.
The Avengers game scarred me. It was that bad.
I was going to play that, and then I heard so many bad reviews, and I was like,
awful.
And then
I think I got like maybe an hour and a half into it, and it's just
to be
bad.
fair though, but they also made the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and that was really fun. Like, I really enjoyed playing that, because when you were doing boss battles, you'd have the music on, and the cosmetics were really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Although I don't think I finished that.
I didn't finish it, but I didn't finish it out of like not wanting to. I ended up going away for a bit of time, and then by the time I got back, the other things were out, and I wanted to do that. I'll probably revisit it if I'm being honest, but when I've got time.
But yeah, there's not too much to say on Blade just yet. It's not a full trailer, just a little teaser. But interesting that they've gone with Blade. I hope it is because they realise it should be easy to make a good story.
I think people like Blade as well. So like it's a character that people do like. It's just it hasn't had a lot of stuff since the old movies. Right. So, next trailer, we've got another game one, but obviously movie related. We've got Jurassic Park Survival. Now, this game, it takes off exactly, it's straight after the events of the first movie. So it's the same universe, it's continuing straight on. So this is all, as far as I'm aware, this is all canon. So you get to play as the character Mia Khalifa. Sorry, not Mia Khalifa.
She looks. I mean, who's that? I've never heard that.
I think she's a sports commentator. Okay. And so basically,
I'll just Google her real quick just to see what she's known for.
Yeah, if you don't know who she is, just Google Mia Khalifa tackles some big beasts on an island, and I'm sure you'll find plenty of stuff. But yes, we have no release date yet for this.
She is not a sports commentator.
Is she not? Oh, hang on, let's have a look.
No.
Whoa, that's not a microphone. Jesus.
No.
What sort of sport is that?
I don't know. Not what I've ever played.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no. Right, so... this looks really good, actually. It's a horror survival game. We do see a little bit of gameplay. The graphics look really good. It looks like you're going to have to try, make your way around the island while hiding from different dinosaurs. Of course, they have to show us the T-Rex with the flare, because why wouldn't they do that?
Naturally. It's not a Jurassic Park property if they don't.
No, it's not. Sorry.
Are you still laughing about Mia Khalifa?
No, I don't even know what that is, so why would I find it funny?
No. No, I've forgotten already.
Who's that?
Let me just Google it quickly.
We're just going to pause the podcast for a quick 3 minutes, so then we'll be back.
3 minutes?
I've got to get it loaded, bro. Come on.
Okay, that allows for buffer time. God, my mum listens to this show.
She doesn't.
Mum, don't Google it. Please, Mum, don't Google it.
We've got to keep this in now, I reckon, as well.
Right,
so it looks really good. Dinosaurs and survival and horror, like it feels like what the movie should have been. More of a horror. Let's do it. But is this going to be? We have to find that USB in the can and then take it off the island. Is that what the game's going to be?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree that it looks great. Like, it looks really, really good. But I'm worried that it's just going to be rehashing Jurassic Park. Like, I see at one point, you see, like, the kitchen bit. And it's like, if we're literally just replaying scenes from the movie, then
I don't want to do it. Oh, remember this? I don't want that. I don't want to remember this. I want to... I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be... Because it's called survival. Is it just going to be you have to survive on the island? Or is there going to be a overarching story to it? I'm assuming there would be. Feels like a weird thing to do.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
But I'm glad it's not just, make a Jurassic Park. And it's just a tycoon game. I'm glad it's not that. But we'll see more.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not like Ark. Have you ever played the Ark games?
I wanted to, but never did. Where it's like...
So they are good, but that's more like Minecraft with dinosaurs.
Okay.
Sort of thing. Whereas this looks like, say, more like an out and out horror.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
It could be good. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it, but because we haven't seen a mad amount of how the game's going to work, I'll hold off for now. But Jurassic Park, I really like Jurassic Park movies, so I'm excited. But that's it for trailers.
Looks like you could drive an old Land Rover.
Well, can they drive them?
You can use a 1980s radio.
Because
of course, because they're self-driven, aren't they?
They're all on rails. So would you be able to drive one? Oh, I can know, because what's his face gets one, the fat guy.
Yes.
Whatever his name is. Is that his kid? Is it his son? Is it Alan? Bloody hell, Richard Attenborough's son? Is it his son? But yeah, that's it for trailers.
Wow. Well, shall we move on to the first part of the title segment?
Yes, let's do it.
Cool. Let's do it. Right after a word from our sponsor. Who Clothing is a fantastic new brand recently launched by two guys from Derbyshire in the UK who have a passion for sustainability, active living and looking damn good while you do it. Their goal is to craft fantastic products that give back to communities and individuals, all without being a burden to our planet. Their first product, the Trash Trooper cap, is fully hand-stitched and made completely from fully recycled and upcycled materials. Who have teamed up with sustainable partner Topiku to make sure that they are actually having a positive impact and have committed to driving sustainable environmental, social and economic growth in developing communities. Now, we don't just promote anything on the show, we only promote brands and products that we actually believe in, and I can say hands down that this Trash Trooper cap is genuinely one of the best made and the comfiest products that I have used this year. I wear a lot of caps, and this is definitely now the best looking one in my collection. Who are really transparent about their business practices, and if you'd like to learn more about how they operate ethically and sustainably, please do check them out on Instagram at WhoOfficialClothing. That is at HUOfficialClothing, and on all social media platforms at WhoOfficial. Their website is also live now at www.whoofficialclothing.com. Grab yourself a Trash Trooper cap and keep your eyes peeled for some exciting future drops. Check them out now and take the first step to making your wardrobe more sustainable for everyone. Thanks again to Who Clothing for sponsoring this episode. So Simo, the first part of our special double bill episode is a review of Wonka. So we'll do spoiler free for now, and we'll make sure we give a big fat juicy spoiler warning before we give in too much away.
Okay.
So Wonka, what do you think? What do you think it's about?
So there's a man. He's called Wonka. It's called Willy Wonka. He likes a little bit of chocolate, and he thinks that chocolate is the key to happiness in the world. Definitely not drugs. He moves to a new town. You know, he wants to be the big guy around. He wants to make some money, and he wants to spread happiness to the world. But there's a couple of people that think he's a bit of a nut job, and they don't like him. So he has to tackle a few scenarios and a few situations to get himself where he is in the movies we all know and love of with his chocolate factory. I think I don't want to go any further into detail on some things while we're in spoiler free, because I feel like there's,
I mean, it's a Willy Wonka prequel.
It's a prequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, whichever. However, how old you are depends on which one it is.
Either or. It's the story of Willy Wonka getting to the top,
Yeah, I mean, we don't see him killing any children in this, so I think he's off to a good start. No. Maybe he's a reformed Willy Wonka. I guess spoiler, maybe he's killing kids.
Maybe he's just not had a psychotic break yet, where he feels the need to murder greedy children.
Maybe he hasn't got the taste for it yet, Yeah.
No. Give him time. He's new.
True. That's true. He's fresh on the
block.
He'll
get there.
He's a fresh face.
But yeah,
it's also musical. I didn't know it was a musical, if I'm being honest.
No, there seems to be a bit of a trend at the minute of musicals coming out and just not advertising the fact that they're a musical.
I did not know it was going to be a musical. I
don't
know how I didn't find out that it was a musical. I don't know why it took so long for that to be.
I mean, this movie has taken such a drastic turn somewhere in development. Like when this was first announced, it was going to be a dark, gritty Willy Wonka origin movie,
which makes sense when you think of the Gene Wilder.
Why they cast, and why they cast Timothy Chalamet, who's not known for being a song and dance man particularly. On that, he's not bad. he's got a decent voice, not incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
but his singing's good, his dancing's good, and I was worried going into it that he wasn't whimsy enough.
Yeah,
that he didn't have the silly sort of childlike charisma enough. But I think he did really good with what he had to work with.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of takes most of his inspiration from Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka.
Yes,
he picks up quite a few of his mannerisms. I think the main one that he does, obviously, is like the little hand gestures, but the steps. He goes up and down the steps. He does that, and I was like, whoa! No, that fucking Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I was like, whoa! I generally... none of the songs, I'd say, stick out. I'd say there's probably one that people probably will clutch to, will probably like cling to, and I think that's one of them's called... Can we say it? I guess we can say it.
We'll keep it spoilers.
There's one that I think that people probably take away more. Well, I guess it's two, because there's one that's slightly well known already, and then there's one that's it just says the same words over and over again, which is what makes a catchy song, I guess.
I agree. Normally with I quite like musicals, to be honest. Like I grew up watching them like with my mum, and I've seen most of the big ones. Even the ones that I don't particularly enjoy, 9 times out of 10 I come away from it and think, even though I didn't enjoy that story, that song was good, or like that piece of music or that composition was great. I feel like this didn't really have that for me.
I agree.
And a lot of them just felt like sort of generic, factory turned out songs to make it a musical.
I don't think it needed to be it. I think it works, but I don't think it needed to be a musical. I feel like you can have...
No.
There's some songs in it that I think you could have as just part of the movie anyway, and it not need to be a musical all the way. So the way it opens... A bit
of non-diegetic music.
The way it starts off with a song just explaining like what he's doing and stuff like that. Like, I don't think you needed that. I do think it works well. There is a musical scene where you see the 3 main villains in this, and they're having a little bit of a sing-song. It's quite... I think there is some funny moments in the song, like they do a little bit of a burlesque sort of routine at one point.
Yeah.
And I do think it works really well. I do think the villains, for me, I think they were the most fun part. For me personally.
Yeah. But I think the way... Because it's not the most faithful adaptation of the lore.
No.
And by lore, I'm talking the original Roald Dahl book. They do change a few things. So if you are a diehard Wonka fan and that book is like the Bible to you, then you might not enjoy some of the alterations. But I think they are just the changes are made for narrative reasons, just to make it more concise. Because I mean the story of how Willy Wonka comes to be in the original book is literally like a chapter, and that's it.
A big story.
Which is a lot to try and drag out into a 2-hour long movie. I think the cast in this is brilliant. Fantastic. Like I say, Timothée Chalamet was great. Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
No,
I'm not sold.
I'm not
personally.
Sold. When you look at what he talks about the role outside of the film, he said he didn't enjoy doing it. He didn't like the mocap.
No,
it's like, well, I don't know why they've used him. I'm assuming it's because of he was working on Paddington 2, and they're probably just like, oh, what do you want to do, Wonka? And he's probably like, yeah, I'll get. Do I get paid? Yeah, okay, I'll do it then. Yeah,
so this is written by the same people that wrote Paddington 1 and 2, and you can tell.
You can.
Which, don't get me wrong, like the whole like fantastical vibe, and it looks incredible. Visually, it looks like a perfect translation from what Roald Dahl describes.
It's refreshing to see finished VFX in a movie. Yeah. It's quite nice to see that, if I'm being honest. There's a giraffe in it, and it's incredibly well made, and I agree with the graphic. I think it's incredible.
I agree with you that the villains were definitely the most fun. Honestly, I was so excited to see Matthew Banton from Horrible Histories, who he should be a Hollywood A-lister by now. It's not fair that he's not. He was incredible. I wish he'd got a little bit more to do though.
I agree.
He didn't have a huge amount to play with. He's more of like a tertiary villain without spoiling it. Matt Lucas is another one of the tertiary villains who I personally didn't enjoy.
So I liked
really.
quite a few bits of his puns. Cause I liked some of his puns because they felt very... some of them are just like... the kind of dad jokes, I guess. His jokes are mainly dad jokes in this. But there is little bits where he's used...
I mean, it's only really one joke that is
I was going to say, there's a repeated joke
throughout.
that I think was funny the first time, and then it got a bit old. But there's a bit in it where something...
Is this a spoiler?
I don't think it's in... You do see this scene in the trailer. Should we go to spoilers? Or do you want to talk about anything else non-spoiler related?
Well, let's answer the question first.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, whenever we review a movie, we ask the only question that really matters, which is, of course, to see or not to see. I agree with you that it's kind of a hard movie to discuss without going into spoilers.
If I'm being honest, even if you had spoilers for this movie, it's not going to ruin anything. The plot isn't really what the movie's about, I guess. I mean, it is, obviously, because it's a movie, but it's more about the journey and the fun in how things are done. Yeah. That's where the enjoyment of this movie is. The way that the story is told is the fun bit, not the revelations in the plot.
Well, let's rank it then. So we're going to count down from 3, and then we're going to answer it at the same time and see if we agree or disagree. Are you ready, Simo? 3, 2, 1. To see.
I think it's a very wholesome movie. I think if you're on the Christmas vibe, you're going to love it.
Or if you've got kids, you want to shut them up for 2 hours.
It's a perfect family movie, I think. I genuinely do think, as a family movie, I think it's spot on. I think it's spot on as a family movie.
I do think that our cinema going experience was ruined by the fact it's a family movie.
We didn't help that by going to a very early screening either.
Well, we went on a Saturday morning and it was full of kids, which I don't know who you are, but there was a kid sat right behind me who just did not stop booting my chair for like the whole 2 hours. It was like trying to do keepy uppies with the back of my chair.
Me he has not seen the Gene Wilder Chocolate Factory, because he would not be prattling around when Willy Wonka's on screen if he'd seen that one.
And there was another kid in there that every time someone said Willy, obviously the character's name is Willy Wonka, he found that incredibly hilarious. And I was like, it got me the first time.
I'm sorry, it was me.
I chuckled the first time, but come on, we all know who we're dealing with here. But I think to see, like you say, it's a perfect family movie. If you've got young kids, they'll love it. It's whimsy, it's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's good. But should we move into spoilers?
So I just want to jump onto the Matt Lucas bit before we delve.
We need to do an official spoiler warning first, Simmer. Spoilers.
From
here.
Right now. Spoilers. Now. If you go any further and you don't want spoilers, this is on you. This is on
this is your fault.
So Matt Lucas, talk about the jokes. There's I think he's actually alright. I quite enjoyed seeing him on screen. But there's a bit where he eats a hoverchock, which is a chocolate bar that like makes you float. Because there's little insects inside that fly inside your stomach and carry you away. And he loses his wig, and there's just like a little bit where everyone's kicking off. And he's just like, he gives it back, and he says like a little quip. He's like, "Oh, thank you," and that really made me laugh. I don't know why. It was just a dad joke, made me laugh. But I do get what you mean. He doesn't really do anything. He just sits there and says the same thing. He's like, "And then you'll die," and then that's it. And that is his line.
I mean, I said to you when we came out, like, if you want an actor that's just going to do that and have funny line delivery, that role would have been perfect for Matt Berry.
Yeah, you spot.
Like, if you've seen What We Do in the Shadows, or even like
Toast.
IT Crowd or Toast of London, you'd realise that Matt Berry would have been perfect in this movie. He has line delivery like no one else, and he would have been great.
The one thing that I think about this movie, it's like the Avengers, but for early 2000s British TV, because you've got the cast of Little Britain, Peep Show, Horrible History. Well, I mean, Peep Show and Horrible History are pretty much the same cast anyway. But like,
they cross over a lot. Yeah,
it's if you watched any TV in the early 2000s in England, or in Britain, this movie's gonna you're gonna be like, that's them and that's them and that's them, and you're gonna be everyone you've seen him for everyone. So for a British person, it's probably quite fun to watch, probably just for that little bit as well. Whereas for American audiences, you're just gonna be like, oh, there's just I don't know, like there is a lot of very low level British TV actors in this, which is really nice to see.
However, most of them that are in there are brilliant.
They're incredible.
I mean,
like, I don't think there was.
Tom Davis was fantastic.
Yeah.
I never thought that alongside Olivia Colman he would hold his
really
own.
Good.
But the chemistry that they had as well was incredible between those two.
I think them two were like probably, even for that, I think it's worth the price of admission to see them two on set. There's a little. It was a bit
derivative of the innkeeper and his wife from Les Mis. I can't lie.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's better than Sacha Baron Cohen's iteration of it, if I'm being honest.
Is Olivia Colman better than Helena Bonham Carter, though?
I'm gonna go with yeah.
I don't think I can agree. I don't think I can agree on that.
You know,
I think Helena Bonham Carter is a
we
legend.
live in a modern world. We can agree to disagree, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of this. You know,
You're sleeping on the floor tonight.
No cuddles tonight. So I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be nice and warm because someone will have joined. I don't know who, but someone.
God knows. The voices.
Oh, they never leave.
Well, speaking of the voices.
Yes.
There's a part of this movie when Willy Wonka first arrives in the big city. He sees the shop that he wants with the for rent sign, and he's like, it's a musical number. He's singing and he's dancing, and then it suddenly like comes to an end, and a policeman points to a sign that says "No daydreaming," like a silver fine, but a bit of a joke. But I was thinking, is that Willy Wonka's schizophrenia confirmed there?
It's either that or if you watch the movie, you'll notice there's a lot of similarities between what he's doing and being a drug dealer. Because it's kind of like a bit of a joke actually in the whole thing that there's a chocolate cartel, and he's like making his own way and he's selling on the streets and then like he's evading the police. It is very much Willy Wonka Breaks Bad, but with chocolate. But yeah, some of the effects that you get from his chocolate are very much reminiscent of various narcotics.
Some of it's a bit on the nose. I thought. Like it says, especially like the cartel crossover, and they've got like all the police on payroll, and
Rowan Atkinson was brilliant in that, by the way, playing a Ben,
the corrupt priest.
A Ben priest. It was just like brilliant. Absolutely. Now I want to see like a Children in Need special or a comic relief special where it's Line of Duty meets Willy Wonka, and it's like I think that was quite funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think there is some little twists and turns. I say twists and turns. Everyone should probably have figured out a lot earlier on, but I didn't figure it out until probably like midway through the movie about who. There's a woman that basically helps out Willy Wonka. She's called Noodle.
A child actor is great, by the way. Carla Lane, I think she's called.
Actors in the film.
I believe so, yeah.
And then it.
Yeah, I think so.
And then it turns out that she's actually the daughter. Well, not the daughter. Sorry, the niece of one of the members of the cartel. And it's it took. I think it took a bit too long for me to figure it out. If I'm being honest, when it's very easily it's in plain sight for quite a lot of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
But I really enjoyed it.
But I mean, she was great. She was fantastic.
I think she'd be great in a Polar Express live action. As
yes, absolutely,
brilliant. I think she'd be brilliant in that. And obviously that is a musical as well, I guess. So yeah, that would work quite well.
Yeah. One thing I will say, the costuming fantastic. The costume was great. All the set design and stuff was fantastic. Olivia Colman is brilliant. Like I said, her chemistry with Tom Davis is great. Is it Keegan Michael Key from Key and Peele?
Yeah, oh, he's really good in it, actually. Oh, no, so there's three.
He's really good
in it.
3 Americans. Yeah, he's great. Jim Carter, I feel like I haven't seen him in anything in years, but he was great in this. Like the entire cast was great.
I did really enjoy it, if I'm being honest. It's not. To
be fair, I'm glad we got this and not the dark, gritty origin of Willy Wonka. I much prefer this to that.
I think you might be right, but is that just because we haven't seen it? But I think the time of year it's come out as well really helped because, Christmas cheer.
Yeah. It's
a very wholesome movie. Even if there is a slight bit of crime and arson. Also, yeah, here we go. So the way it all resolves is Willy Wonka proves that the cartel are committing crimes. But is it okay?
And then murders them.
Yes, yeah, I guess that's where he gets the taste for blood. But is it okay to commit a crime to prove a crime?
In this case, I think because the police are on payroll.
Yeah, that's true.
If
that's true,
there was no other alternative there, I don't think. But even though it was like a bit of fun, and it was obviously like the villains who are a bit camp and all this sort of thing, I did enjoy seeing them get the comeuppance.
Yeah, it was nice, and I think you should take your kids to watch it.
I
think they'd like it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's about all I've got.
That's all I've got for Wonka.
Well, shall we dive in to the Golden Globe nominations?
We should.
So, we've not got every category here. Just sort of the main ones. And like I said up top, we're going to go through them, say who's nominated. We're not going to dwell on them for too long, just because we don't want to... this show could run for 4 hours. But, we try to keep it under 2 hours. So we won't dwell on them too much, but we're going to say who we think we would like to see win, and then also who we think realistically probably is going to win. So the first category we have, Simo, is the Best Motion Picture for the Drama category. Okay. Nominated we have Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, and The Zone of Interest. So we'll start with who we'd like to win. For me personally, I think out of all of those, it's Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I was going to agree with Oppenheimer. That's the one I want to win, and I think, as much as I think it should win, a part of me kind of moves towards Killers.
I think Killers has got a good shout.
I do think Killers might end up winning that one, even though Oppenheimer, I think, should. I think Killers probably will.
Yeah. I think Oppenheimer's the better movie.
Yeah, so much better. It's so much more entertaining. And the way it was... Actually, you know what? No, I think Oppenheimer will win. No, because the music, the music score in it's incredible. The visual effects in it is incredible, and obviously the whole Barbenheimer thing, But then again, they don't take that.
That's become iconic.
They don't take that into consideration, these sort of things. But
not for this award, they don't. But we'll get onto that a little bit later on.
God, are they doing another one of those internet ones?
Not quite,
it's got to be,
but kind of. So the next category we've got Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Nominated we have Air, American Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May December, and Poor Things.
I think this was another easy one, isn't it? Yeah, right? It's got to be.
It's Barbie for both.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, I think Barbie deserves it, and I think Barbie probably
was incredibly fun. Win it. Right, it was incredibly fun.
It was so good. It was so good, especially after watching Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It was the perfect palate cleanser after watching Oppenheimer, to then not want to kill yourself immediately after.
It was such a good little I was so happy that those two merged, and it became a thing. I mean, I did him over the weekend. I didn't do him back to back like you did.
Oh yeah, I did him back to back. It's a long day. I didn't want to look at a screen for a week. I was just completely drained.
Yeah, I was way too close to the screen for Oppenheimer as well. Jesus.
Yeah. I think Barbie's got that one. I think knocked down. Next category, Best Motion Picture, Animated.
Ooh, okay.
We have The Boy and the Heron, which has actually broken a box office record in the States this week. Elemental, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Suzume, and Wish.
Okay, so I would like Spider-Man to win. Do you know what I mean? The animation on it is absolutely incredible. The music is incredible. Good. The actual story is incredible. But I don't think it'd win.
No, I'm the same in that if I was in charge, it would be my pick. But I think, honestly, it's between Elemental and Super Mario.
I was leaning towards Elemental and maybe The Boy and the Heron. If I'm being honest, I don't think Super Mario Bros. Will. Because I mean, if you compare that to Spider-Man, even if I liked both of them, I really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah,
but I think Spider-Man takes the cake on that one. But then I feel like the story.
I mean, if it's Elemental, we write it.
But like you got to think like as a.
It's a bad movie.
Yeah, but a lot of people liked it. It did really well. Well.
I don't know how.
I mean, I didn't like it. I thought it was a bit tongue-in-cheek in the way it was done. And I don't think the story was very good.
It's just the whole narrative is based around insulting stereotypes.
Yeah, and then
it's not good. It's not a good example of a positive messaging in an animated movie. It tried and just hit all the wrong beats imaginable. But yeah, I hope it is Spider-Man. I mean, I know Across the Spider-Verse has got a lot of hate, but I feel like that's just because it left it on a huge cliffhanger. I think that one should win it due to also I really want the creators to get a bit of something, cause they've been massively screwed over, so I'd like them to get a bit of something. Yeah, but who do I think is going to win it? I don't know. Part of me just thinks Super Mario, but then I don't know if The Boy and the Heron.
The Boy and the Heron probably.
I think if it had come out 2 months ago, it'd walk it. But I don't know if it's been out long enough to have registered that sort of impact to win yet.
I don't know. Yeah, but
to be honest,
if you just look at,
as long as it's not Elemental, I don't care who wins it. I think they're all great.
Yeah, I think it'll. I genuinely think it'll be The Boy and the Heron. But yeah, I mean, yeah. As long as I don't want you to win. I just need Elemental to lose.
Yeah, that's literally it. Now, this next category is the one I hinted towards. Which
how the hell is Dead Reckoning
a bit of a strange one?
Been nominated for this?
Well, let's get there. But the category is Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. I saw a bit of funny commentary on this, where it was like, the money is the award for cinematic and box office achievement. I don't know why you've got a category for it. But nominated, we've got Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour.
I think this one should be split between Barbie and Oppenheimer. I think they should do a split award just because of the Barbenheimer thing. Do you think that is a cinematic and box office achievement? But I think it would probably be Taylor Swift, if I'm being honest.
Well, I was just going to say, I think if we're talking about box office achievement,
Taylor Swift.
Only one of these has broken records, and by broken, obliterated records. And that is Taylor Swift. She absolutely smashed it. Who I'd like to win? I'd like Guardians to do it.
I don't think that Taylor Swift should be part of this. I know it's been in cinemas, but it's not a movie. So I don't think it should be part of Best Cinematic. And I know it says and box office achievements, so it kind of feels like that's been added on so Taylor Swift can get a Golden Globe. It's what it. I know. Do they do this every year? The box office achievement.
I think this is a new category.
It just feels a bit. The rest of them are all cinematic, and then that one is the one that just did obliterated box office. So it's it feels a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like Guardians to get to do it, just because realistically, it's not going to win anything else.
Yeah, okay.
And I think it does deserve some sort of award for that. It was
an incredible story.
Especially,
the story was incredible.
Yeah, and especially when you think that over those 3 movies, those characters have gone from Who? To?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, it's the Guardians, you know? I think they deserve the flowers a little bit, but I agree in that I think it's probably going to Taylor Swift.
I mean, fair enough, it did really well at the box office, but I don't think it should be nominated as part of this.
No.
I think it's cheating, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. But yeah, the next category, we're into the big personal awards now. So, best performance by an actor in a motion picture for a drama. We've got Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Barry Keoghan for Saltburn, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Andrew Scott for All of Us
There's
Strangers.
a problem with this. Why isn't Nicolas Cage been nominated for Dream Scenario?
Because it's not a drama.
Is it not? Is it not technically? Is he in any of these?
No.
He's not.
You'll have to wait and see. But it's not a drama. Dream Scenario.
It feels like it was kind of one at parts.
Well, I can tell you that officially.
Okay.
It's not a drama.
I think that. Well, I would like Cillian Murphy to win this, and I think he will.
Yeah, I think it's between him and Leo. Right?
Well, to be fair, Barry for Saltburn. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I feel like if you look at any of his performances, he's always doing it, and it's more of an artsy sort of movie, isn't it? So, yeah, they love those sorts of things. But I think it'll be Cillian Murphy, if I'm being honest. I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio deserves it for his role in Killers. It was good, but
he wasn't bad.
It's nowhere near his best. So I don't think he deserves it for that.
Yeah, I think Cillian Murphy's got this.
He deserves it.
All over.
He really deserves it.
He does. He
really deserves it, and he's very humble. Like, he doesn't get involved in a lot of like chatter and crap. And
he ate like 3 slices of an apple a day for that movie. Like, it deserves something
good job
just
it wasn't
for that.
apple at the start, eh?
Well, yeah. I think I'm the same as you. I want Cillian Murphy to do it, and I think he's probably
really
got it in the bag.
And I'd like to see him. You know, I'd like it.
Yeah. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture for a drama. Nominated, we've got Annette Bening for Nyad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, Greta Lee for Past Lives, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Kaylee Spaney for Priscilla. Priscilla famously released in America this year, while it's been released everywhere else in the new year. So we haven't actually seen Priscilla yet.
But to be fair, I'm going to go straight for, I think Lily Gladstone should win this.
I agree.
Absolutely incredible.
She was great.
She was a lot better than
good.
Leo, I think, in that movie.
She carried.
I mean, we said this,
every dramatic beat.
We think it should have been from her perspective. The movie should have been more about her. I think she should get this. Who do you reckon will get it? I reckon she probably will.
I think she might be nailed.
I think she might be. I'm not just saying that because we're guessing it. I genuinely think she does. I think she will get it. I think she will, and good for her if she does. I think it'd be really good if she does. Yeah,
I think she deserves it. Not to devalue anyone else on this list. I will be honest. Some of these movies I haven't seen, but just from seeing Lily Gladstone in Killers, she was phenomenal. Like, the emotion she portrays is just
hard
insane.
to follow.
Yeah. Now next, we've got Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Nominated, we've got Fantasia Barrino, The Colour Purple, Jennifer Lawrence for No Hard Feelings, Natalie Portman in May December, Alma Poisty for Fallen Leaves, Margot Robbie for Barbie, and Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Okay, so I would like Margot Robbie to win this for Barbie, but I don't. Has The Colour Purple been doing really well?
I think it has done really well, yeah.
So,
I think this might be possibly the toughest category to call.
I don't think Jennifer Lawrence should get it for No Hard Feelings. I don't think she'll win for that. Other comedy, but no, I don't think.
Well, from what I've heard, May December is incredible. It's on my list to watch as soon as possible. And same with Emma Stone in Poor Things, and I think Poor Things is a fantastic story as well. similar to Killers in that it's by no means a nice story, but a story that needed telling.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, and deserved telling. I'm the same as you in that I'd like Margot Robbie to win it, but I do think Emma Stone is great. And I wonder if the emotional beats of that movie might give her an edge. But because I mean Margot Robbie.
It's event cinema. There was Barbie, and they don't tend to get awards. They don't tend to get them other than like the overarching like best picture. The actual
and like
actors don't tend to get.
Don't get me wrong, Margot Robbie is brilliant in Barbie, but the reason she was cast is because she looks like Barbie. Yeah. And that's not to be, derivative of her talent, because she is an incredible actor. But her role in that was to play an attractive woman.
Yeah, I mean,
and she's don't get me wrong.
They play on that.
She really gets a chance to flex her acting in it. The bit where she's on the bench and she's crying, and she's incredible in that. But I think Emma Stone might edge it. I think, but I would like Margot Robbie to win it.
Okay. Yeah, I reckon.
No.
I do agree that's a really hard one to do.
Yeah, I think it is the toughest cat. Well, maybe the second toughest, because we're going to get to another tough one after this one. But best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy.
Okay, I see it, baby.
Nominated, number 1, Nicolas Cage, Dream Scenario.
He deserves it.
Do we even bother reading out the rest?
We're going to have to read them, because I feel like there's one on there that I feel like we probably will win, but I want it to be him.
Timothy Chalamet for Wonka, Matt Damon for Air, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid, and Jeffrey Wright for
This is actually
American
quite a hard one
Fiction.
as well, to be fair. Like, I want Nicolas Cage to win it. I do. I think his acting was genuinely incredible in it. The range was brilliant. He did a lot of... It was fun. It was good. But he's got Joaquin Phoenix to go against, and Timothy Chalamet, who's Wonka, was really good as well. I don't think Timothy Chalamet should get it for Wonka, if I'm being honest, but his performance was really good. So I feel like it's probably going to be either Timothy Chalamet or Joaquin Phoenix, but I want Nicolas Cage to win.
Yeah, I think Nicolas Cage does more acting in that than Timothy Chalamet does in Wonka, and it's not even close. I'm the same as you. I think Nick Cage deserves it, and it's probably going to go to Joaquin Phoenix, but I do genuinely believe that Nick Cage is the deserving winner.
Paul Giamatti was really good in The Holdovers. Like, he was actually really good in it, but it wasn't the best movie in the world. But like, to be fair, he was really good in it. But then again, he's had better roles. So
yeah. Now the next category: best performance by an actor in a supporting role for any motion picture. Nominated: Willem Dafoe, Poor Things; Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon; Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer; Ryan Gosling for Barbie; Charles Melton for May December; and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things.
I mean, Robert De Niro did do an accent, so
he did.
maybe
just a singular
because he
accent.
actually did a little bit of acting in it, he might get it. I think Robert Downey Jr. should probably get it for Oppenheimer. That's what I wanted to get it for. I want him to get it for Oppenheimer, but I think it might be Ryan Gosling for Barbie on this one.
So I'm the same, but inverted.
Okay. You want?
Where I want Ryan Gosling to do it, just because he gave me a whole new personality for a few months. But I think Robert Downey Jr. is gonna.
You can't be running on that personality still, mate. We've had loads since then. Like, you can't still be.
No.
I really liked Ryan Gosling in it, but Robert Downey Jr. did some incredible acting in that. So
yeah, and I think especially the fact that he was told, you're not going to get cast in anything bar like an eccentric billionaire guy for Iron Man, and then he came back with that.
Really good. Really.
He was incredible in that. He was so good. So I'd like Gosling to do it, but I think Downey's got it in the bag.
I think that's it. Yeah. So we'll see on the day. We'll see which way it went. I think we're right. It's gonna be either or. I think.
Yeah. Now, best performance by an actress in a supporting role in any motion picture. We've got Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Colour Purple, Jodie Foster for Niad, Julianne Moore for May December, Rosamund Pike for Saltburn, and Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
Okay, who do you think?
So, I would like Julianne Moore to get it, mainly because I just think she's fantastic in everything she does. She is brilliant. But I don't think Rosamund Pike is in with a shout, as great as she is. And again, I'm waiting to see Saltburn. But from what I've seen, it doesn't look like she gets a huge opportunity to really flex her acting chops in that. Jodie Foster is another one that is brilliant. And then, of course, Emily Blunt is fantastic in Oppenheimer. So I think I would like Julianne Moore, but I think it's probably between Jodie Foster and Emily Blunt.
I was going to say I want
one.
Emily Blunt to win it, but I don't think she will, and I don't know who will win it. She was...
It's a tough one to call.
Again, it's just one of those things where I think she's done better in the past. But it was really... There was the bits where she was getting like interrogated, I think, were incredible. Oh, actually, and she did the bits where she had to like deal with where she couldn't... She wasn't... she was getting like post... Is it post... she had depression, didn't she? And that she didn't want to look after her kid and stuff like that. She was struggling, and that was acted really well. So I do think Emily Blunt might get it. I do, yeah. I'm gonna go with Emily Blunt. I want Emily Blunt, and I think Emily Blunt will. I'm doing it. I'm locking it in.
Nice. Now the next one, best director for any motion picture. We've got Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Greta Gerwig for Barbie, Logos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Chris Nolan for Oppenheimer, Martin Scorsese for Killers, and Celine Song for Past Lives.
Okay, so I would like Greta Gerwig to win, but I think Christopher Nolan will.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'd like Greta Gerwig to win because it's fun. It's a nice, fun movie. Christopher Nolan's got plenty of recognition. Give it to Greta Gerwig. Yeah. It was a really good movie, and if you speak to people this year about the movies that they've seen and enjoyed, most people are going to say Barbie.
They've all seen Barbie.
Not everyone saw Oppenheimer. People I think and it was a very deep story. There was a lot of deepness in it. Yeah. So I think Greta Gerwig should win.
But I think in terms of credit, not that any of them are easy, but I think it's probably easier to adapt a true story into a movie than it is to take a property like Barbie, which is literally a toy, and create not only just a story, but a compelling and an
social
entertaining
commentary.
And and just a fantastic narrative.
I agree.
I think I'm really, really hope Greta Gerwig gets this one.
Martin Scorsese could with Killers, but I don't think.
Yeah, I just did not enjoy Killers. But yeah, that's my take on it. Now we're on to a couple of fun ones here. Best original song for a motion picture.
I know my one on this one. So and I think it should, but I don't think it will.
Well, let's read them out. Nominated, we've got Addicted to Romance, She Came to Me, music and lyrics by Bruce Springsteen. Dance the Night from Barbie, music and lyrics by Mark Ronson, Andrew Wyatt, Dua Lipa and Caroline Ayling. I'm Just Ken from Barbie, music and lyrics by Mark Ronson and Andrew Wyatt. Peaches, the Super Mario Brothers movie, lyrics by Jack Brack, Aaron Horvath, Michael Jelenic, Eric Osmond and John Spiker. Road to Freedom from Rustin, music and lyrics by Lenny Kravitz. And What Was I Made For Barbie, music and lyrics by Billie Eilish and Phineas.
Now, I really want Peaches to win this, if I'm being honest. I want Peaches to win this. I don't think it will. I think it will be one of the Barbie songs. I think it will either be What I Was Made For or possibly I'm Just Ken.
Yeah.
Or Dance the Night.
I want I'm Just Ken to win. Just because personality.
I really like Tenacious D. So and Jack Black. So I'd really like him to get some awards for his music.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that song. I thought it was in the movie. It was really funny. It worked really well, and he did a little music video afterwards.
It was great.
But I think it's a hard one. I don't think it should always be a serious song. So I think Peaches versus I'm Just Ken. Oh my god, they should do a way better. Do you know what they should do to decide? They should do like a song battle where it's Ryan Gosling and Jack Black doing a battle, doing a rock battle.
God, that would probably make $1 billion just that off YouTube ad revenue.
I think it might be I'm Just Ken actually.
But yeah, I want I'm Just Ken to win, but I think What Was I Made For?
I don't think that one should.
I mean, it's a beautiful song.
I think I'm Just Ken and Peaches. Like they were like actual parts of the movie. The characters were a big part of it. It wasn't just the song as well. They had like the little dance and all that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. But I think Peaches. I genuinely really want Peaches to win.
Yeah. Now next one, similar vibe, but best original score for a motion picture. So we've got Erskine Fendrix, I hope I pronounced that right, for Poor Things. Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer. John Hisashi for The Boy and the Heron. Micah Levi for The Zone of Interest. Daniel Pemberton for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And Robbie Robertson for Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, personally, I want Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Daniel Pemberton to win this.
I think it should.
Some incredible scores in that, but also Ludwig Göransson. I'm going to say, for Oppenheimer.
Can you hear the music?
Incredible.
That is an incredible. I think I want Ludwig to win.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to go with the flip side that I think Daniel Pemberton will win.
I'm
no, you won't.
I
don't think you won't. I'm saying that because I'm torn. I want Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse to win, and I also want Oppenheimer to win. I'm going to go full basket. Both Oppenheimer. It's going to be Ludwig.
Wow.
Ludwig's going to win. Just think like this. Yeah, no, I think it is. It's like classic.
I just think that the way Daniel Pemberton uses music, not only to set tone and mood, but like specific characters' tone and mood, and the way you can decipher a character's intentions and thoughts just through the soundtrack. Where like Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer is fantastic, like composition and incredible pieces of music, but I think if you took Daniel Pemberton's music out of Spider-Verse is considerably worse of a movie.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take Ludwig Göransson's music out of Oppenheimer, it doesn't have as big of an impact. So I think for me, I hope Daniel Pemberton gets it.
That's a fair
I think it probably will go to Ludwig. Now, the next one. We have Best Television Series for a Drama. We have 1923, The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, The Morning Show, and Succession.
1923 is what I want to win. It's actually really good. It's not as good as the 1883, which was the. So they're both prequels to Yellowstone.
Yes.
Have you seen 1923 yet?
So the whole Yellowstone series is next on my list.
If I'm being honest,
to watch.
If this is for anyone wanting to get into Yellowstone, watch the prequels first. You'll enjoy it more.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm planning
first,
to
you'll
do.
enjoy it more.
I'm also just putting off buying a Paramount Plus subscription for as long as possible.
I need to get it because I need to watch the new episodes of Yellowstone. Well, the new episode of Yellowstone. Genuinely incredible. Anyone says it's a dad thing, it is, but it's so good. If you like cowboys and you like country music and you like Zach Bryan, watch it because Zach Bryan's in it, man. And so is your favourite lady country singer. She's quite a big part in it, actually. So yeah.
If you're listening, Lainey, call me.
But yeah, I think 1923 should win. I think it'll be The Last of Us, though.
Yeah,
or Succession.
I'd agree with that. I'd kind of like The Morning Show to win it. The Morning Show for me is criminally underrated.
Seen it yet.
It's really good. It's worth the watch. It's really good. But I think The Last of Us has probably got it.
I still haven't finished that show. I'm on the last episode. I've done that on a lot of shows. I get to the last episode.
I gave up.
And then
honestly, I gave up.
I was enjoying it. I just didn't finish it.
But the final category that we're going to try and predict here: Best Television Series, Comedy or Musical. We've got Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, Only Murders in the Building, and Ted Lasso. Now, I'm conflicted on this one.
I can guess which ones you're conflicted on.
Well, there's two that I think both deserve to win.
And The Bear?
And I think...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's The Bear and Ted Lasso. They are both... They're the two best TV shows I've watched all year, and it's not even close either. Like, they are both incredible pieces of television.
The best TV shows I've seen all year have been the Yellowstone ones. So, like...
Yeah.
I'm glad they're not on this list.
I'd like to see Ted Lasso do it, just because Ted Lasso's finished. Yeah, so I'd like it to get that recognition. But I think The Bear might do it, which I'm not mad about.
So, like, I think it'd be nice for someone else to win. Like,
yeah, and The Bear is incredible.
Yeah, I have heard good things. It's on my watch list. I haven't got around to it yet. But a lot of people I know as well that have watched it have all said it's very, very good. I do think it'll be The Bear. If I'm honest, I think it'll be The Bear.
Well, that's it, Simo, for the title segment. We've covered a lot there.
This is a big episode.
We've done really well. So should we move on to the next segment of the show?
My favourite segment.
Lovely. So the next section, as you should be aware of by now, is Between Two Droids, the section where both me and Simo come armed with a hot take each. Maybe something that we've thought of ourselves, maybe something that one of you guys have sent in, maybe something we've just discovered in the deep dark depths of the internet this week. We just recite them to each other and then just say whether we agree. Now, would you like to go first this week, Simo? Or would you like me to go first? I'm going to let you go first. Wow, that's very kind of you, Simo. Anyway, Simo, for my hot take, if you could just cast your mind back... I'm casting it back to the start of the episode. About an hour and a half ago, when we were just sort of midway through the news, when we covered the Deadpool leaks. So my hot take this week... I've not gone back far enough.
Who's Mia Khalifa again? Let me just Google. Hang on.
Oh no! Further back, Simo.
Oh my god! What is that? What's he doing to her?
Well, moving swiftly on from that, my hot take this week is that I think there is very much a sweet spot when it comes to leaks.
Okay.
Where there's just a certain amount of leaks is perfect, both in terms of giving audiences an idea of what's coming, but also just for promotional reasons.
I was going to say, so what you're talking about is advertisement.
Basically. So I think, like, Deadpool 3, for example, if people were going into this not knowing that Hugh Jackman as Wolverine was going to be in it, I would say quite comfortably, opening weekend would probably be at least 40% lower than it's going to be.
I think...
And it hasn't really given too much of the story away. But obviously we know because we're freaks and we follow it all. But as a casual viewer, if you see that leak, you don't get a huge idea of what the story is. You don't really know about the narrative. Yeah, you just know Wolverine's in it. Hugh Jackman's back. Yeah, okay, I'll go and see that. So that is basically my hot take. I think there's a nice, lovely, a little golden area
I agree.
when it comes to leaks that is perfect.
I feel like Spider-Man's a good one for that as well. No Way Home, where like... It was. We knew that Andrew Garfield was going to be in it, and Tobey Maguire might be in it, and it was kind of leaked, but it kind of wasn't. But I feel like if those leaks weren't there, not as many people would have seen it. So yeah, I agree. I do agree on that one.
Thank you, sir.
So right, my hot take is something I brought myself. I've seen some little memes, and I've brought this over. So, Lord of the Rings, the first one. Obviously, they're going over the bridge, and the Balrog comes up, and Gandalf tells the party to run away. Now, I've seen a meme. I say it's mine. I saw a meme, and this explained it. And I can't remember who it was who posted the meme. But on the meme, it says Gandalf tells the party to run away against the Balrog so he can take all the XP. Now, he explains this, but the next time the party see him, he's got all new clothes and a cool new stick, and he's more powerful.
Yeah.
So I think they're on something here. Yeah. He tells he's no, you don't want to go against this. They all run off. He kills him, takes absolutely everything, and then there he's all powerful. I think he's right. Yeah, he gets everything. I think he's a selfish bastard. Is what Gandalf is right there, my friend.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to back you.
I think that's why he did it.
A problem shared is a problem halved, unless you want all the loot.
And he wanted all the loot. He wanted a cool new stick and a cool new robe.
Yeah, and the drama. oh, Gandalf's dead. Oh, look at me.
What a narcissist. He wants everyone to cry over him. Jesus Christ.
Come on, Gandalf. Do better, bro. Yeah, well, I agree with you, Simo. Now, should we move on to the next segment of the show?
We should move on.
Which is, of course, what we're watching.
What are we watching?
So, Simo, what have you been watching, /reading, /playing, /listening to this week? That's cheated, Simo. They already know we've watched Wonka.
I didn't want to put Doctor Who again because I'm on a big Doctor Who binge and it's just been Doctor Who for 3 weeks because I've just been non-stop watching it. So I thought,
what a dream, by the way.
Brilliant. Like, it's incredible. And a lot of them I don't remember because they were from when I was a kid. So it's been fantastic watching them. But I've watched The Muppets Christmas Carol, in which
classic.
It's so Christmassy. It's beautiful. Like, although sometimes like there's a few jokes that are like sitcom jokes, not all talk show jokes, where you're kind of like, that's of its time, isn't it? Or it's just like a joke that's like, I don't really get that pop culture reference. Like, even now as an adult, I'm like, no, I don't really. It's not my time. Absolutely love it though. It's a bit of fun. And I also watched Jingle All the Way. Now this comes with a little bit of an extra hot take of, we've always said that remakes are allowed and should be done as long as they advance the story or do something new. And I think they should do a new Jingle All the Way movie. And I've got the perfect cast.
Okay.
Instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger,
here we go.
I think we should have Sam Sulek.
He may as well be a co-host of this show now. I'm going to go back and listen and do the maths as what we've mentioned more. Spider-Man or Sam Sulek on this show. Because I think it's going to be surprisingly even.
Think, he's got the build. He's got the wittiness. He's got the following. Like, I reckon he could act. Why not?
Yeah, my only thing is that, well, I have two issues. One is that he's very young to be playing a father, but then my other thing is you wouldn't be able to have any female cast members in it because you just wouldn't be able to talk to them.
We should do Cocaine Bear, and it's Cocaine Bear versus Sam Sulek.
Versus Sam Sulek.
That's a very niche reference for anyone there. That one, even the Sam Sulek stuff, that's a very niche reference. Bam.
Very, very niche. If you know Sam Sulek, let us know. We're curious to know what the crossover is in our audiences there. Now this week, Simo, I've been watching a few new things. I watched Doctor Who, which I thought I would reference because I haven't referenced it 3 weeks in a row. I've also watched The Bear season 1, and I've started watching season 2, and it is just incredible. Carmi, the main character in The Bear, is my new adopted male personality that I'm rocking with now. I mean, you just have to, right? Whenever you watch something as a man, you have to adopt a new personality.
For the past 2 weeks, I've been walking around, like, spinning around, doing little weird shit, because, Matt Smith is my personality right now, it can't be done.
Yeah. I saw you wearing a bow tie in the gym the other day. I was so confused. Hell yeah, they're cool, bro.
I actually did wear a bow tie the other day, but for a different reason, so, I think it works.
Well, yeah. And then I've also been listening to something, a new podcast from James Acaster. Have you seen his 4-part special on Netflix? Good.
It's really funny.
Yeah. So do you know when he's talking about being an undercover police officer by the name of Pat Springleaf?
Is that what this is about?
Yeah. So he's done a podcast as Pat Springleaf where it's a bit like it's like a mock true crime show. I can't really do it justice by describing it, but it is so funny.
That sounds good.
And he has like guests on, and it's called Springleaf, and it is great. And I love James Acaster. Funny. He's probably my favourite working stand-up comedian at the moment. I think that's it for that section of the show, Simo. Should we move on?
Let's move on.
So the next section of the show on this No Questions Asked podcast is, of course, some questions asked. Now, I've received a specific request from an avid listener for this one.
It was delivered by Owl.
It was, as all of my correspondence is. So this question comes from a listener by the name of Taj. Shouts out to you, Taj. His question, thoughts on the Bazinga law from young Sheldon.
Right, okay. So, do we explain it to anyone that hasn't seen this?
Bazinga is, it's like Sheldon Cooper's catchphrase, if you will. Whenever he makes a joke or a funny, he says Bazinga afterwards.
Just a little, literally
exactly like that. That was actually sick. That was so good. No, that was sick, bro. That was really good.
Yeah, basically, the way he gets it is, those JML adverts in, like, your fucking garden centres or anything.
In, like,
when it's like,
rest in peace, Wilco's.
And, like, random places. It's like, hey, you want one of those little sticky insects that, like, clings to your wall and climbs down? It's one of those, but it just says Bazinga. It's like, because something's funny.
Yeah.
It's like, because that's Bazinga. And he just, like, looks at it and goes, I guess that's my personality now. I don't think it needed to be explained, if I'm being honest. This is worse than Han Solo getting his name.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm going to speak directly to you right now, Taj. You asked for thoughts on it. I can tell you I have exactly zero thoughts on it.
I really don't care. I couldn't give two shits.
I mean, I've grown to enjoy Big Bang Theory more over the last 2 years than I used to, when I probably should have enjoyed it. But I've not really seen Young Sheldon, bar like the odd little clip on TikTok here and there. I don't really care.
No, I
about this, honestly.
I mean, did anyone ask for a Bazinga? You know what? Actually, I'll give it a little thought. I feel like it would have been more meaningful if it was a member of his family that said it first.
I'll back that.
Yeah, unless it comes from an actual real thing.
I can't believe
we're talking about it.
I can't believe we're discussing the lore of Big Bang Theory right
you know
now.
what? I'm gonna. This is just for you, Taj. I'm gonna see if Bazinga's a real life thing beforehand. Who made up Bazinga? It's literally just from that. It's just from that. Brilliant. I'm pretty sure at some point in my life I did have a T-shirt that said Bazinga on it, and that was just because it was a cheap top from HMV that I got for Christmas one year. Yeah.
Wow.
Bazinga.
There's some Simbob lore as well.
Oh God, no! Because if anyone ever get like a picture for the podcast, it's going to be in a fucking
hell yeah,
Bazinga
it
top.
is.
Oh God.
Well, on that very depressing note, Simo, I think
it's
that's
time
the show.
Bed is what it is, and
research
it is.
We're recording this quite late.
Who is Mia? Let me have a little look again.
I mean, you can if you want, but I won't.
Now, what I saw scared me.
Yeah. But is that the show?
That is the show. Quite a long one today. Well, actually, I don't think it is a long one. I think it just feels like a long one for some reason. But yeah.
Well, we've covered. I
think that's what it is. We've done
We've done a lot of stuff today. We have. I think we've done well. Now, Simo, do you want to tell them where they can find us?
I will tell you where you can find us, and you can find us at the Two Droids Podcast at gmail.com if you want to send us any letters, hot takes, questions asked, anything you want. We are at the Two Droids Podcast. That's the number 2 Droids Podcast at gmail.com, and we are the Two Droids Pod everywhere else. That's Twitter, Facebook, you name it, Reddit. We're on there too. Send us whatever you want. Everywhere. Send it through. Send us a letter by Owl, because it'll find Ryan. It'll find him. Does all the time.
Yeah, they always do. Now, Simo, did you know that you can review this show as easy as just doing it in app on the podcast catcher of your choice?
Oh my God!
It really is that easy. Well, on podcast app catcher of your choice. You can do it on Spotify. You can do it on Apple Podcasts. You can do it on Amazon. You can do it on Deezer. Perhaps.
Oh God! You don't get any of them freaks, do we?
Deez nuts.
Bazinga!
Whoa! This is, if you're a new listener, this is the sort of thing you can come to expect. You know, this top-notch comedy right here.
You don't get comedy like that anywhere else. I'll tell you that for free. Yeah.
No, definitely not on the Big Bang Theory. That's for sure.
I think that's
probably
the level of comedy.
Should we call it there?
Let's call it there.
Absolutely. As always, thank you to yourself, Simo, much appreciated. Thank you very much to the listener for listening along. Leave a review, send us an email, let us know what you're thinking, let us know if you agree or disagree with any of our Golden Globe picks and why. Don't just tell us we're wrong, tell us why we're wrong. And no, of course we're not. And of course, as always, thank you to Who Clothing for sponsoring this episode, and we will see you next week. Ka-chow.